If you thought that Bring It On was the last word in cheerleading, you have not seen Backspot, which is an exciting new film starring one of my favorite actresses, Devery Jacobs. You probably saw her briefly on Echo. She had a much meatier role on Reservation Dogs. And this is from executive producer Elliot Page.
It is indeed, and it has a non-binary director in D.W. Waterson. So
yes.
If you thought that But I'm a Cheerleader was not gay enough for you, this is. You got to subscribe because we're always going to find these cool little indie gems for you here at Breakfast All Day. Our goal, my totally arbitrary goal, is to try to reach 30,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. We are very close. We are like a few hundred people away. So come hang out with us all summer for the highs and lows of the box office. You know, we've got Inside Out 2 coming. We have big box office-y things, but we will always find little stuff for you here as well.
This body's pushing limits.
I'm very ambitious. Welcome to the Thunderhawks.
Devery Jacobs stars as a young woman named Riley. She is the backspot on her cheerleading squad, competitive cheerleading squad. This is not high school. They are not cheering for boys doing sporty things. This is their sport. They are athletes, and make no mistake of it, they work their asses off. So she's the backspot, which means she stands at the back. She's sort of like the lead and the anchor. She kind of calls the shots and also makes sure that the tiny little people who fly through the air land safely on the ground. And so it entails a whole lot of getting kicked in the face. And if people fall, it's on you. So it's a whole lot of pressure. She and her girlfriend and their mutual third best friend all get this call up, though, to try out for the more elite squad, the Thunderhawks, the really, really impressive, tough team to get onto in their Canadian neighborhood. And so they jump at it, literally and figuratively. and they get on, and she finds that it is way more taxing physically, emotionally, in every way. I mean, you see literal blood, sweat, and tears in this movie, but it's for the prestige of the pursuit of this athletic excellence. And this does for competitive cheerleading what The Novice did for rowing in terms of just exploring. Like, I think if you already have that drive, if you already have that instinct to push yourself to the absolute limits, and then you get put in this pressure cooker, you are going to drive yourself mad in the pursuit of excellence. And that's what The Novice was about. And that's what this is about as well. And both happen to have had a lesbian theme to them as well. I like this a lot. I liked it a lot in terms of the intimacy of it and the intensity of it and just these characters in this world. It's funny, like, they don't go to school.
No.
Riley's girlfriend has a job. Amanda has a job at the movie theater, but like, they literally eat and sleep and breathe cheerleading. And I guess when you reach those levels, it has to be that all-consuming because it is so physically demanding. Evan Rachel Wood is very good as the coach of the more intense team. She's just withering. And I liked a lot about this. I think it's just long enough, and you get a feel for like why they would have this incredible drive. And I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's a really cool character study. I think the movie's telling you a lot about Devery Jacobs' character and the girlfriend, who's played by Kudakwashe Rutendo, without sort of underlining it for you. But like, they are of different sort of socioeconomic backgrounds, and they have very different kind of family lives and different relationships with their respective mothers and stuff. And this is a very good movie about showing and not telling. And also, I think in terms of just the intensity of these practices, not just you see how hard and repetitive and the strain and the effort involved, but just like the scenes where like they take their shoes off and you see all the skin that's missing and all the, it's like when dancers, are in the middle of really rehearsing and they take off those toe shoes and it's like, okay.
But you can't tell them not to do that, right? Like that's their identity.
Yeah. And so, it's not as insanely intense and all consuming as something like The Novice, but it still sort of gives you that feeling of just eating, breathing, sleeping at 24/7. And then, I think towards the end also sort of offers the idea of like, what if we compartmentalize? What if maybe we don't allow this to completely consume us, but we can still be very driven and successful in that way. So yeah, I found it really fascinating.
I really liked also Thomas Antony Olajide. I don't know how to say his last name, but he is the second in command to Evan Rachel Wood. And he brings a much needed sense of humor to this. He's just bitchy and has a way with a one-liner, and but there's like he lets just enough sympathy through. Like he sees them, he sees how much they care, he gives them just enough nurturing, but still like pushes them really, really hard to succeed. These girls party as hard as they work. They get drunk and they stay up all night and they do all kinds of things, but they could probably party and still be in great shape the next day for the competition if they drank non-alcoholic beer from our friends at Athletic Brewing Company. And this month in particular, for Pride Month, they have a specialty limited edition beer called Rainbow Wall. It is a hazy blood orange IPA, very tasty. The can is beautiful. All of Athletic's packaging is so beautiful, but this one in particular has like really pretty rainbow colors on it. It's inspired by a climbing wall. Like I am not a climber. I don't know, but there's like, I guess, a climb that this is inspired by. Okay. So we have a deal with them at Athletic. Our code is breakfast all day. It gets you 10% off. And the thing with this beer that's so cool is that this particular one, this Rainbow Wall, the proceeds go to LGBTQ plus nonprofit organizations. So 3 different groups will get that money. So it goes to a good place. It goes in your body, and that's good, but it also goes to a good place. So link is down below. You get free shipping with orders of at least $50. I have been enjoying it around here.
Yeah, if you're like a Hefeweizen person, you like a little citrus kick going, you know, they really, it's really delivering that.
Yes, so check that out. And then there's in this movie, this is one fantastic long take that D.W. Waterson pulls off of like when it all kind of comes together. And at that moment, like you see the fruits of their labor, and like there's a glimmer of, oh, it was all worth it. Like, all that heartache, all that agony, all that self-doubt, all that physical mutilation was all worth it. But then there's something that happens with the very, very end that I feel like is a mixed message. Like I hate to use the stick to the landing.
I was thinking that exact thing. Like, do we say it? But yeah, there's a landing sticking issue here.
Do you agree? Like, I don't know what the director's trying to say with the ending.
Yeah, I found myself kind of questioning some of that as well, and who knows, maybe it's the kind of thing where like a second viewing really opens it up. But yeah, I have to say, as somebody watching it once, that's the way most people see movies. I didn't quite think they got to the finish line, but there's so much to like here, and it's absolutely worth a look, just again for the performances and the way that intensity of these young athletes is captured.
Yeah, and that opening sequence is a doozy. So if you get kind of queasy motion sickness, FYI.
Yeah.
That opening sequence might do something to you. So what's your number then?
I'll say like an 8.2. I thought it was really effective, and I was fascinated to see where this was going to go. And I think it doesn't feel like for as much as works in Young Woman in the Sea, you know exactly where that's going. And this one, you really don't know where it's going to go, and if this is all going to turn into like triumph or tragedy.
I will say like a 7.8. So Backspot is in theaters, and I think it might also already be available for streaming. So
if not soon, but we'll have a link down in the show notes.
Yes, for sure. Rah rah, go get them.